Hello and welcome back to my Let's Play of Suebi. Now, it's going to be saying the objective is expand everywhere. Though in particular I do want to reach something like the Roman Empire's extent, since it's a good benchmark of what an empire could or can be. In particular, I do want to take over the large majority of North Africa, including Egypt, if the Byzantines have lost it especially. Now, when I eventually get to beginning to build the armies out of the Suebi champion unit, which I know are brilliant, that's when I think it'll become a lot more easy, I guess, to combat certain things. Also, now I want to convert Malacca first, since it's the most stable of these. That's over here. This is down here, in a different nation, I believe.
Ready for orders.
So, stuff's happening. Let's end the turn. Oh yeah, I need a provincial governor, and I can actually assign one now. Let's not accidentally throw them out again. So things are getting easier over time anyway. Now, the army's going to have to remain in Cordoba for a little bit to keep it maintained, which is critical to preventing any rebellion, at least for a little bit. Though I certainly won't hesitate if I need to move the army around the three cities. Now, another critical thing I'm going to have to keep in mind is the potential rebellions. Like, those things are always a risk. One bad event could take it from, say, 3 turns to 2 turns, which might be a bit of hell on earth for you if you haven't really got preparation required. And by converting to Latin Christianity, I have probably made myself a lot more vulnerable to the Huns. And oh here, look. Well, don't need to see this. In Scythian wastes, a child is born to the royal Hunnic line. Destined for greatness, he was named Attila. Well, shit. Now, the next one is surviving for another 20 years. Yeah, see, that's good. Now I need a bit more to convert these to torps. And to convert this to a forum. Now I can convert this to a town centre. And this is a city altogether, or a small one at least, which will also be quite dangerous. Now, I'm going to probably wait a little bit and convert certain things over others. Now, let's see. Like, public order's stabilising, the instability is decreasing, and the political situation is advantageous towards me. Now, the main issue I have is the fact that I'm going to have to keep my military here if I want it to remain stable. So I'm going to convert this and hope that speeds certain things up. That's got a farm steed, and that'll provide some food. These provide some food. And I'm most likely going to get a well here, which is going to be useful. Now here, this could also do with a farm. The converting certain things here is also advantageous. By converting this from, well, this, which has, well, 900 wealth, a lot of road development, to a fishing one, decreases the road development in the area. So instead, I think I'll probably just make most of it out of other things. Now that gives me spies, and I want a meeting hall. So I'm gonna have to go with farm steed. Which will increase my wealth slightly for next turn. So you can get that. That basically just brought this up to 0-0.
For the tribe!
So there's lots of things going on. Got to wait a little bit more. And I'll secure Spain first before advancing elsewhere, like into North Africa. Plus I'll need an army in the north to hold that, and an army in the south to expand there. Now, the biggest threat to me would be the Huns. At least when Attila comes to power, then they especially become dangerous. As I believe they can actually raise every single thing on the map. Now, taking the islands here might be a good idea as well, since they are technically a part of Iberia, and it'd be a nice little province to have. Most likely your trade province is. Now, something that's critical. Maybe stabilising this area a little bit further. I'll take 4 turns, but I can wait. Now there's actually plenty of food for once. Now I've got to wait a little while. Now this here, part of this large area, I might take next, or I might take this next. Or I might just build 2 armies and do both. So Adilmir, you can do that. And that unit's beginning to recover. So that's good. Now, taking the 2 provinces up here, Teletum and Sigobriga, should be a relatively easy task since neither are walled settlements. It's just a matter of really securing Cordoba and its 2 surrounding, well, it's 2 towns, so there's no rebellion there. Or waiting till public order is up there before moving out. Now, if there's one thing I think the Western Roman Empire particularly has problems with, is maintaining certain holdings. Like if it loses Iberia, it can no longer reach North Africa via land, and instead has to go by sea, which isn't too difficult unless the opponent has a strong naval holding as well. even then you can still manage it. Development, local traditions. So that gives me a -1, a +1 public order. Now I could either get more wealth from a whole bunch of buildings, and I think I'll go for this one here. What now? Technologies, immigrants, religious differences, events. What events? Outrage population. Oh, that's why. It's a bad autumn. I could get town centre here. And I think that's exactly what I'm going to have to do to stabilise the region a little bit more. And this still leaves me on continuously low wealth. So my low wealth is not exactly the greatest situation. Though, still, holding these armies up in the nation, up in general, it's pretty challenging. Now, another issue of taking on the Western Roman Empire is if they do stabilise, and they only lose certain things, like only certain amount of land, they may come back and try and retake everything with devastating force. Though at that point I think I'll probably be around equal with them. At least in army-to-army engagements, they will no longer have their superior units. So, it's normal winter. I don't know how to get rid of the outraged populace. Yeah, this is like all. So this one has the pastures. I think would be good. They give extra wealth compared to the other buildings, so that's what I'm going to go for. Now there's all these. Let's see. Let's secure some loyalty, is it? I'm not sure what else I can do. And I think I just noticed something down there, and it makes me think. Editing. Does that allow me to edit the nation's stuff? I can't tell. Does it allow me to rename it? I don't know. Something tells me the Jutes have just gone to a fight with someone, haven't they? And the game's like calculating what's going to happen. Even then, this is a bit obscenely long, isn't it? Up there. That was weird. Western Roman Empire is just intensely just like thinking on what it shall do losing southern Iberia. There's a lot of nations it's going to have to go through, so I just have to wait through all of them. Now, eventually he'll get through all of them, like so. Nah. So, looks like they've already had some areas slightly battered. Gaul. Oh. Carthago, Nova. So, I haven't encountered that many factions. My total income is, yeah, all of the game, quite a bit. So let's save up to convert the city in particular. So it has way less food consumption here. That area's almost done. And, well, it's stabilising. Populace is still outraged, which is annoying. Now, there's this little area. It's a land bridge. So I think I'm actually gonna take over Tingis in particular, so this area's entirely mine. Which will make it a bit more easy. Now these guys can now upgrade.
Ready for battle.
Now I might go either there or there, but I need to establish this area as more stable first of all. Now Pax Augusta is part of this province here, along with that presumably, so these three, and would probably serve as a nice little addition to my southern Iberian kingdom. And I also believe that if I make a quick set of conquests to like Emerita, Pax Augusta and that final province, taking the capital first, I should be able to stabilise it relatively quickly by keeping my army placed in one of them. No, they're still outraged. Is it a good autumn? No. Now it's going more quickly because certain things have been built by the looks of things. So, not very much going on. Gonna probably conquer this area, swing around, take this up here, and then across here to finally take this. And then again, I could go for these two, then up into this, and secure this frontier. Since very clearly that would enable a quicker response against certain things. Now if I made an advance into all of Iberia, that would most likely set my sights upon then deciding that I will either go into France or North Africa or both at the same time. So I'll probably now rename Carthago, since it's now in the age of prosperity, I guess. So either way, I'll most likely will go and take Tolotum, or Tolotum, once I'm sure Cordoba will not rebel. Or rather, this entire region here will not rebel. So either way, the military presence is 7. So that looks it'll go up by 1 if I leave that alone. So I'm going to barely leave. And yep, it will go up by 1.
None will escape.
So this will be my conquest of Tolotum.
Further orders?
So may as well get at least some action in, but before that, I'm going to go and play with this. Oh wait, not that. Let's see. I can't remember anything, can I? Ah, this.
The overall happiness of a population is influenced by a variety of different contributing factors, including taxation,
my king is
cultural
called
differences and devastation following conquest,
Eric. That's
food
what,
shortages,
that's
immigrants, repression is the enforcement of your rule by the presence of garrison troops, and a useful tool for keeping populations in order.
So, that's what I'm going to call it. Update the interface. No, Cordoba and Bayatika. Is also in a pretty good position. So, no, that is not what I wanted to do. I didn't want.
Ready for orders.
So, gonna go into battle against Tolotum. So you'll get a battle this episode. And as you can tell, they have quite a bit.
None will escape.
They don't have an army there either.
For the Lord, our Savior.
So I'm actually going to try and starve them out,
Settlement.
rather than just engage in a fair fight, since I have the patience to do so. Though I'm not sure about any viewers at this point who may want to murder me for taking my time so much. So I'll probably begin converting those little towns. Most likely I'll be converting the safest one first, followed by Hispalis and then Cordoba. Cordoba will most likely be one of the more protected areas of my kingdom early on when I have got control of Spain. And my control most likely it'll only become more safe as I expand further into France and North Africa. And then the most threatened regions will most likely be anything in France, Italy, and eastern North Africa. Since I doubt there's any, like, Aztec invasion like in CK2. Though if they release the DLC for that, I'd certainly buy that, even if I am not buying many of the I haven't bought any of the DLCs in this yet, even the optional ones, like the graphical one. Didn't buy that. Don't know why I didn't. Either way, just gotta wait a little bit. Bastard. Oh, I might be able to convert the city first, since it's a lot more valuable, I guess, in a way. Now, second place I'll be taking is obviously going to be Suebi. And let's see, how many turns do I have to wait before... Yep, they'll take attrition, the defender's garrison will, in 7 turns. So, in 7 turns is when I will begin certain things. And those guys I want to rule these areas for a while. Now, I should have checked if that region was safe still. So, the sieging at Attila is going pretty well. Now, the Western Roman Empire most likely has further issues in the north, such as Gaul now, which rose up. Well, that's nice. I can have even more on you. So there's no, like, execute. Damn it. I'd love to execute people who did things like that, because I'm an ass. So that's standardized equipment. Ooh. I haven't even got Suebi warriors yet, have I? I'll put that there. Let me check, son. What can you get? Yep, Germanic stuff. No, noble Germanic swordsman, all of these. No, need like technology. Royal Suebi Cav from Mead Hall. Tefali Cav from Hall of Elders, and the Warlord's Keep. Royal Suebi. Does this provide Royal Suebi Cav? Nope, it only provides a garrison of it. Mead Hall will be the best one. And this stuff here? Not really. Now the fields, yeah, none of these provide anything particularly special. So these provide Suebi warriors from Bone Carver, which then goes up to get much more wealthy. I haven't got a Bone Carver. At least not in my capital. Cordoba, on the other hand, may eventually have one, and I've actually built 2 town centres here. One town hall can go to that, and one can go to market stalls. And, ooh, so close. Just another turn, get that. Now, I'm not sure which area in particular I want to use as my, like, recruitment centre for troops. Though, at this rate, it may very well be my capital region, which I might use the towns to get the required, like, buildings, all the required buildings. Now, I'll probably end the episode here. There'll be a battle next episode in Talentum. Or maybe even more a battle, since it is a pretty... they'll be pretty worn down. Now, if I do get certain things, I'll most likely be checking a lot of stuff. A little wine never hurt someone. Oh yeah, we're also going to want to move you around occasionally so you don't end up doing something.
I want hourly patrols. Ready.
I don't want you to be like a sloth or something. Now this just consumes tons of food though, that's the only issue with that. I'm going to set this to convert then, which will take 12 turns, and I'll keep the siege up here. Settlement strength, yeah. Either way, gonna end it here. Thank you for watching.